Daisylocks by Marianne Berkes, illustrated by Cathy Morrison. Daisylocks wasn't happy where she had been planted. Maybe there was a better place where Daisylocks could live and thrive, so she asked the wind to help her. "I can do that," said Wind. He picked her up and blew her to a hot, dry desert. But Daisylocks didn't like it there. "I can't get enough water here. I'm burning up. This place is much too hot." "Then I'll send you to a place that's cold," said Wind, and he whooshed her all the way to a treeless plain that was partially covered with ice and snow. "I can't sink my roots into this frozen ground," cried Daisylocks. "It's too cold here." "Maybe you should go back home," wailed Wind, "where it is just right." "I'm not ready to do that yet," said Daisylocks. "There's got to be a better place to put my roots down." "Well," suggested Wind, "why don't you just blow you around until you see a place you like?" And Wind did just that. Daisylocks looked down at different landscapes as Wind kept her in the air. "Stop," Daisylocks finally told Wind. "I like the looks of this one. I think I even see some daisies." She landed on top of a mountain, right next to a small clump of wild daisies. They were crushed into a crevice between two rocks. Daisylocks tried to bury herself in the soil, but it was too hard. "Not quite right," said Daisylocks. Wind came back, picked her up, and whisked her away to a wetland area in the Everglades. "No," said Daisylocks, "this is definitely not right for me. It's too soft and wet." "But I see some pretty daisies," said Wind. "Well, they are actually more like weeds. I, on the other hand, need to be cultivated by hand." "Cultivated?" asked Wind. "Yes, you see, I have to be planted intentionally in a garden, while the wetland daisies and daisies on the mountaintop are cultivated by nature. You probably put them there. Of course, weeds, like beauty, are in the eye of the beholder." "I've heard that's so," whispered Wind. "I'm really getting hungry," said Daisylocks. "I need to anchor my roots so I can be fed and start growing." "Let me think," said Wind. "I'm not giving up. Once my roots are established, I can grow as a perennial." "A perennial?" asked Wind. "It's a plant that grows for more than 1 year," answered Daisylocks. "Some plants are perennials, while others are annuals and survive for just 1 year." "Well," said Wind, "I know of a place where you could live for years and years in a warm, humid environment. That should be just right." Wind blew Daisylocks to a tropical rainforest where many different plants and animals lived. Thousands of leaf-clutter ants scurried on the rainforest floor while a howler monkey called from a branch in the canopy. Morpho butterflies flitted and fluttered everywhere. "This place is too busy and too crowded," thought Daisylocks. "I wouldn't get very much sunlight under all these trees." "I need room to spread out," Daisylocks told Wind, "and I need lots of sunlight. Can't we find somewhere else?" "I think I know," said Wind, "a place that's just right." "You said that before," Daisylocks reminded him. "So far it's been too hot, too cold, too hard, too soft, and now too crowded." Wind wished Daisylocks to a faraway beach with lots of room and lots of sun. The sand glistened in the sunlight as a seagull perched on a post near some rambling sea grapevine. Daisylocks could see miles of beach and miles of ocean. There was certainly room to spread out. Daisylocks was already enjoying the warm sun. But when she tried to put her roots down, the sand was way too loose. "My roots will never hold here," said Daisylocks. "Let me guess," whispered Wind. "It's not just right." "I've been to places that are too hot, too cold, too hard, too soft, too crowded, and too sandy," said Daisylocks. "You know what?" said Wind. I'm going to whoosh you home so you can bloom where you were planted. That is where it is just right.